Okay, class, today is Wednesday, October 7th. And we are going to review subtraction again and rounding. So what we're going to do in class is use our dry erase boards. So at home, if you want to have your dry erase mat and your marker ready to work out these problems that you see in the video, we are going to practice together some, and then you will have some opportunity to do this on your own. Okay, so first let's review subtraction. We're going to have some with zeros and some without. Okay, so number 1, 704 minus 399. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do this first one with you guys, just in case we forgot the steps from yesterday. So I start here in the ones place.
No.
We ask ourselves, is there more on the floor?
Yes.
Yes, so we need to go next door. But when I go next door, I see that it's a 0, so I can't borrow from a 0. Now, who can tell me what trick we learned if we can't borrow from a 0? Evangeline? Good. We can box this and make it a 70. So 70 now becomes what, class?
69.
69. Very good. And the 4 we can change to a 14 now. Okay. Now we can start subtracting. 14 minus 9 is 5. 9 minus 9, 0. 6 minus 3, 3.
305. Is that wrong? I had it wrong, and then I did it like that. Next.
Okay, next one. 500 minus 215.
Can we do this on our own?
Yes. Try this one on your own. Okay, so let's go ahead and check. We look here and you should have said, oh, there's more on bottom, so I need to go next door. But there's a 0, so I'm going to box this and it becomes 49.
49.
The 0 now becomes 10. 10 minus 5 is 5. 9 minus 1 is 8. 4 minus 2 is 2.
Yeah. Watch my answer. And with that,
Okay, next one. 816 minus 547. We're going to try this one on our own, and then we'll check back in the video to see if you got your answer right. Okay, at home, we're pausing the video here in class to give them time to work. So at home, if you need to pause the video to give yourself time to work, then do that, and then come back and check your answer. So we start here in the ones place. 6 minus 7, can I do that?
no.
No. So more on the floor, go next door. There's a 1 there. Can I borrow from a 1?
No.
Yes, you can. As long as it's not a 0, you can borrow from it. Now the 1, if we borrow from it, it now becomes a 0. 6 becomes 16. 16 minus 7 is 9. Okay, now I go in the tens place. Can I do 0 minus 4?
No.
No. So I need to go next door. 8 becomes 7. 0 becomes 10. 10 minus 4 is 6. 7 minus 5 is 2. Okay, now real quickly I'm going to show you how you can check your work to a subtraction problem. We can take these bottom two numbers. Let me use a different color so you guys can see better. So for subtraction, we can take these bottom two numbers and we can add them to see if it comes out to be the top number. If it does, then our answer here is correct. So 547 plus 269, and we should get 816. What's 7 plus 9? 16. Good. Make sure you carry the 1. 6 plus 4 is 10. Plus 1 is 11. Carry the 1. 1 plus 5 is 6. 6 plus 2 is 8. So that tells me our answer is correct right here. Okay, so that's how you would check your work. You would add the bottom two numbers and they should equal the top number. Okay, let's do a few more and then we're going to go over some rounding problems again. Okay, class, what was your answer that you got?
72.
72.
172.
Let's see. 9 minus 7 is 2. We didn't have to borrow here because 9 is bigger. Now we go to the tens. Can I do 2 minus 5?
No.
No, so I need to go next door. 4 becomes 3. 2 becomes 12. Don't forget this step. This has to go down to a 3. 12 minus 5 is 7. 3 minus 3 is 0. Do I need to put a 0 in front?
No.
No. 72. Now, if I wanted to check my answer, what would I do? Bryson?
You would box the 537 and 72 and add that together. You should get the top number.
Good. We're going to take the bottom two numbers, add them together, and we should get the top number. 7 plus 2 is 9. 5 plus 7 is 12. 3 plus 1 is 4. So that tells me my answer is correct. Now, doing that extra step, did that take me that long to add those up? No. So sometimes it's worth it to go ahead and do that little bit extra to make sure you're getting your answer correct. Okay? Because sometimes we do make little mistakes. But going back and doing this extra checking part will make sure you don't make a mistake. Because if I'm only one away, Bryson, are they going to say, oh, he's only one off, I'm just going to give it to him? No, they're going to count it wrong. So even if you're only one off or one number away, they will still count it wrong. So go ahead and try checking your work by doing the addition problem, okay?
I already did it with That's 429.
Okay, if it didn't come out to be 429, I would know my answer here is wrong. Okay, let me show you. Let's say we got,
71.
well, somebody said 172. So if I had taken 357 and added 172, I would have gotten 529. Okay? That does not equal the top number. So since this is wrong, then that tells me I made a mistake somewhere here. I need to go back and work this out again. Okay? Make sense?
Yes.
So if you add them and it does not come out to be the top number in your subtraction problem, then you got it wrong. You need to go back and check again and see what you messed up on. Okay?
I got 72.
All right, let's do 2 more.
What is that supposed to be? I think it's okay. What's
Okay, there's your last 2. Go ahead and work those out and then we'll... Okay, let's check and see if we got our answer right. If you're still working it out, go ahead and keep going, but we're going to go ahead and start checking. 2 minus 1 is 1. Now I get to the tens place. Can I do 0 minus 8?
No.
No. So I go next door and borrow from the 7. 7 becomes a 6, 0 becomes a 10. Okay? Now make sure you're not automatically seeing a 0 and then you box it. Because the reason we don't want to do that on this one is because we didn't have to borrow to subtract our ones place. We can subtract here. Okay? So we don't have to do the boxing if we can start subtracting normal in our ones place. Okay? 10 minus 8 is 2. And 6 minus 1 is 5. Now I'm going to go ahead and check real quick because it doesn't take me that much longer to do that extra step. 721, or 521, sorry, plus this one, 181, and it should equal 702. 1 plus 1 is 2, 2 plus 8 is 10, 5 plus 1 is 7. So is our answer correct?
Yes.
Yes, 521.
Yes, yes.
Okay, last one. Same thing. Don't automatically go over here and box this and make it an 80 and turn it into a 79 because I can do 6 minus 2. What is 6 minus 2? What is it, Aaliyah? 4. Now I go over here and I say, okay, I can't do 0 minus 4. More on the floor. Go next door. So 8 becomes 7. 0 becomes 10. 10 minus 4 is 6. 7 minus 3 is 4. 464. Again, it does not take me that long to go ahead and check, so I'm going to do that. My answer was 464. I add 342, my second number, and see if it comes out to be the top number. 4 plus 2 is 6. 6 plus 4 is 10. 4 plus 1 is 5. Plus 3 is 8.
Yes. Yes.
It does equal the top number, so that means our answer is correct.
I got them all right.
Okay, very good. Now we're going to shift gears, and we are going to practice rounding, okay? Okay, so you guys are doing a good job on your subtraction. We're going to review rounding. Okay, so we have some rounding rules, right? Okay, you need to remember that if the numbers are 0, 1, 2, 3, or 4, you're going to round down. Okay? You guys don't need to write anything down. You're just watching and listening. Okay? Now, if the digit next door is 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, we are going to round up. Okay? So let's practice rounding to the tens and the hundreds. So if my number is 427, and I want to round it to the nearest 10, who can tell me what my first step should be? Bryson.
So you would put a home. You would add the 4, 2, and you would put that 7, that 1 would go, there's a 1, and the 7 that would go to the answer to the 2, the answer to 430.
Okay. He already gave us the answer, but we're going to see if we can explain a little bit better the steps. So if I'm rounding to the nearest 10, I need to start at the tens place and look next door. So go ahead and do these steps on your whiteboard or your dry erase mat. Okay? Why did I start with the tens place? Why am I underlining the tens place? Kelsey.
Because you're underlining the tens place because B2 is
We started in the tens place because it asks to round to the 10. To the nearest 10, that means we start at the tens place. And look next door. Now, if it's a 7 next door, does that tell me to round up or down?
up.
Up. Okay, so I'm going to draw a little arrow telling myself I need to round up. Okay, now we need to think about what two tens it comes between. Okay, y'all remember this step? I can cover up the 4 because I'm just looking at the tens. It's 27. So what two tens does 27 come in between? What do you think, Kaylee? What two tens does 27 come in between? Very good. The 2 tells me that it's going to be 20. And then after 20, we say 30. But make sure you go back and put the 4 in front. 420, 430. And I already know that I need to round up because the 7 tells me to round up. So what is my answer? Kaylee.
430.
Very good. 430.
Yes. Circle.
Okay. Now the steps are almost the same for the hundreds place, except now instead of starting at the 2, I need to start at the 4, right? If I'm rounding to the nearest 100, I start at the hundreds place and look next door. Okay, so I start at the 4, look next door. Am I going to round up or down if it's a 2?
Down.
Down for the hundreds. Okay, now we need to decide what 200s it's in between. So I look at the underlined digit. It's a 4, so that tells me this one over here needs to be what? Everybody, what is it? If it's a 4 in front, 400 and 500. Don't make this difficult. You should be able to look at that number 427 and think, oh, well, that's between 400 and 500 because it's already in the 400s. Okay, it's already in the 400s. Now we said we needed to round down because we looked next door. It's a 2, so 2 tells me it is closer to 400 than it is to 500. So 400 is to the nearest 100. Okay, let's try another one.
Done.
And I want you to round it to the nearest 10 and to the nearest 100. If I'm rounding to the nearest 10, I need to start at the tens place and look next door. So the 8 tells me to round up or down? Up. Okay, that's the easy part. Most of you guys can get that step down, right? You know if it's 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9 next door, you round up. If it's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 next door, you round down. Okay, but the tricky part is you guys have a hard time telling me what two numbers it comes between, or what two tens to choose from. Okay, so if I have a number line and I'm counting by 10 since I'm rounding to the tens, I need to figure out where it would go on the number line. I'm counting by 10, so 80, 90, 100. Okay, so where would I stick 18? Would it go between 0 and 10?
No.
Where would it go, Evangeline?
20.
By 20? So behind 20 or in front? In front. So it's between 10 and 20. And make sure you put that 3 back in front. So 310, 320. We already said we need to round up. So our answer would be what?
320.
320. Okay, now we do those same exact steps, except now we're not counting by tens, we're counting by hundreds when you round to the nearest 100. Okay, so I'm going to make another little number line for myself, so that's 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, and what's at the end?
10,000.
No? Just 1,000. Okay? So if I have 318, what two hundreds would it come between? Kaylee. Good. 300 and 400. That 3 tells me I'm already in the 300s, so it's got to be between 300 and 400. Okay? Now I need to ask myself, do I round up or down? So I start at the 3, look next door. It's a 1. So am I going to round up or down?
Down.
Down. Down for the hundreds. So 300 to the nearest 100. 320 for the nearest 10. Okay? Now this, you don't have to do this. This was just because we were struggling to figure out what numbers it comes between. So if drawing out a little number line helps you, then go ahead and do that. You can even write it going down the side of your paper. Okay, let's do another one. Okay, rounded to the nearest 10 and to the nearest 100. Okay, starting with rounding to the nearest 10. 452. 52 comes between what two tens? Bryson.
50.
50. 450 and 400. 460. Good. Okay. So now we start at the tens place. Look next door. So the 2 tells me to round up or down?
Up, down.
Down. So down means we would go to the lower one, 450. Okay? Now to the nearest hundreds. So we need to figure out what 200s it comes between. Who can tell me? 452, what 200s it comes between? Evangeline?
500 and 400.
Good. 400 and 500. Okay? Now we look at this hundreds place and go next door. If it's a 5, does that tell me to round up or down?
Up.
Up. Is Evangeline the only one that knows? If it's a 5, do we round up or down?
Up.
Up. That's better. So we round up for the hundreds. So that means I would go up to 500. Okay? All right, we're going to stop there for review. Your assignment today is actually going to be on rounding. Okay? Exactly what we just practiced is your assignment today. So those of you in Seesaw, you can show your work in Seesaw, or you can be writing your answers and showing your work on a sheet of paper. If you do it on a sheet of paper, make sure you take a picture where I can read it, so nice and close to the picture so I can see your paper, and then post it in Seesaw.
Mr. Bergsky just said